Hey there, I'm Ian Douglas. I'm the author of the website techinterview.guide, and I'm here to help people with career advancement and interview preparation. My live stream on Twitch covers topics such as company research, how to build resumes and cover letters, applying for the job, getting through interviews, and what to do during negotiations. I've coached thousands and thousands of people over the years to get jobs at the biggest tech companies in the industry, and I'm here to help you too. The following episode is taken from a longer live stream event and may contain interactions with other people in chat. Check out the end of the episode for more information. Let's get to it. Let me go see what happened in that thread. How do you respond if they ask, what's your current salary? I don't answer that. I always answer that question with, what are you offering for the job? Your current salary doesn't matter to them, and you should not share it. So I always answer that question with a question. I did my own job hunt recently, by the way, December and January, I changed my job. And I interviewed with 30 companies. Only one of them would not tell me the salary range when I asked, but I never had to give a salary range. If the company doesn't say, this is who we are, this is what the role is, this is what our salary range is, do you have any questions? My first two questions to every recruiter that I talk to, what's the interview process like? Walk me through the entire interview process. How many steps, how many stages, how many hours can I expect to do for this technical interview process? And the second question is, what is the salary range you're offering for the role? I only had one company not tell me the salary. And they're like, well, we want to get through the interview process. We'll talk about that later. And already in the back of my mind, I'm like, they're going to lowball me. They were actually the first job offer that I got. They didn't ask me to demonstrate very much about my technical skill. It was a developer relations role, but it was for an IoT company. And I submitted some code. I'm like, this is some IoT stuff that I've done, and I do these things with the lights. And they're like, oh, this is awesome. Here's your job offer. And they lowballed me. It was like really, really low. Like almost insultingly low. And I'm like, okay, thanks for the offer. I need some time to think about this. And then I started getting other offers. And I went back to them. I'm like, okay, your offer is like way lower than everybody else. Like, this is the minimum of the rest of the offers. Like, can you come up to that range? And they're like, we can't quite get there. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to take your job. Thank you. And it's an unfortunate reality of it. But if you're not going to tell me that salary up front, I'm not going to bother now with those interviews. So always ask them what salary range they're offering. Now, if it's part of the application process where you have to pick a salary range of like, how much do you want to make? Figure out whatever salary you're making now, add 10, 20% and put that in. It won't necessarily disqualify you. They just want to know, like, are we in the ballpark? I'm at an advantage living in Colorado where we passed a law that companies that want to try to recruit people in Colorado have to share the salary range if they're posting the job to recruit in Colorado. And if a company didn't, again, that's the first thing I ask. And I point out to them, it's like, hey, I live in Colorado. You have to tell me what the salary range is. They're like, oh, it's this much. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's keep talking. If it was within the range, or I would just tell them right on that very first phone call, hey, I'm expecting this kind of range. Is that a possibility, or should we just stop talking? Not in those words, but that's kind of the impression that I would give. And it was amazing how many times the recruiters are like, yeah, okay, let me see what I can do. Let's get you in the interview mix and whatever. And sometimes they would call back and say, no, we really can't get that close, but we could make it up on equity or make it up on other perks or do a cash signing bonus or whatever to kind of get you there. I would still typically withdraw because salary is worth more than a cash bonus. Your salary is what determines your raises, sometimes your bonuses, and so on. So always negotiate more salary. If they really can't move on salary and they offer a cash bonus, that's fine. Ideally, they give you a cash bonus plus your salary. But that's not always a possibility depending on the company. So knowing all these kinds of things make a big, big difference. Thanks for checking that out. I hope that you found it helpful. I always appreciate feedback, so please let me know what you think. I appreciate any subscriptions, so please tell your friends and colleagues about it as well. Check out the website techinterview.guide for more information about when I'm live streaming and all of my free content. Drop by a live stream anytime to ask questions or message me privately, whatever makes you most comfortable. See you next time.